Good evening. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Let's go onto Instagram and make it live as well. How are you doing tonight, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui, but if you're from the 767, YT Kubuli, tall is her body, the Commonwealth of Dominica, and you're from Point Michelle, the enclave we call La Puente. You call me little boy, but if you're from my Guido, you call me what? Luku boy. Dominica made me, Boston raised me, now the South sustains me. Good evening, beautiful people. How are you doing? Hope everyone's doing fine tonight. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. I'm so excited for the show. Just before we start and we play our theme song to get us in the mood, let's make sure everyone is tuned in on all the platforms. You can watch me, on Facebook, Bardui Financial Services. You can watch me Facebook, Havis Bardui. You can watch me on LinkedIn, Havis Bardui, H. Terrence Bardui. You can watch me on X, which is called what? HTB964. You can watch me on YouTube, Bardui Financial Services, and Instagram, HTB964. Hope everyone's doing fine. Let me just double check Instagram, make sure everything is going fine right here. Everyone is doing fine. I see the Trini ladies watching all the way from Florida. Good evening, and everybody else is watching tonight. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. Again, my name is H. Terrence Bardui. Let's get it started. Let's put our theme song so we can get the show started. We'll get this party started, right? Yes. Dominica made me.
Dominica made me, that's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray.
Yes. Are you ready for the fray? Woo!
On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky. With every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. A licensed financial pro, just being me.
I can only be me. I can only be H. Terrence Bardui, a.k.a. Little Boy, a.k.a. Luke Boy.
So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong, with purpose and pride. Together with my journey, side by side.
welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. Again, my name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H, some people call me Havis, some people call me Terrence, some people call me Mr. Bardui. If you're from Dominica, you call me Mr. Badwill. If you're from Point Michelle, you call me Little Boy. But if you're from La Pointe, which is the same enclave, you call me Luca Boy. Dominica made me, Boston raised me, now the South sustains me. How are you beautiful people doing tonight? Melinda Frazier, oh my gosh, it's been a long time. How are you, darling? Hope you're doing well. Down there, you live where we vacation. How is it going over there on the land of 300 and what? No, no, oh, it's Melinda Frazier. Oh, my bad. I was looking at the wrong person. Melinda Frazier. I apologize. My bad. My bad, young lady. I was thinking of someone else. My bad. I take it back. Good evening, Preach Goodwill, and everybody else who's watching. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. Hope you guys are doing well. Nora is watching all the way from New Jersey. She's another licensed financial pro out there in New Jersey. Nora, one of these days, man, I got to get you on my show so we can compare notes on what we do. One of these days, I'll do that. One of these days. But for right now, tonight is the night where you guys just listen, learn to participate. As long as you say hello, I'll shout you out. If you don't say hello, I can't shout you out. But Melinda Frazier, it's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good week. What I can tell you guys, today was a beautiful day in the DMV. It was actually 60 degrees. I went walking. This is the first time I've gone walking in a while. I don't think I've walked this year. Well, if I have, I don't remember. But it was cold. January was cold and snowy, and early February was cold and snowy, and people were complaining that, you could always go to warmer weathers, the Caribbean or Mexico or wherever you want to go, the motherland. You can go to all those places to buy. But you know what? Even Florida was cold. But what I tell people is simply this, man. The cold keeps you on your toes, and it reminds you that your hard work should be compensated with rewards. So when you see people going on vacation, I applaud them. When I see them, like Melinda is one of these people, she's always going somewhere. She's always traveling. You see her all over the place. She's all over the place, and that's good. She works hard and she plays hard. So always reward yourself for the hard work that you do. I'm not a big vacation person, but when I go, I do enjoy myself. I try to pace myself when I go, but it is what it is. What I can say to each and everyone, every reward or every accomplishment, reward yourself. Sometimes your reward might be a massage. It might be, a manicure or pedicure, getting your hair done, taking a day trip or a weekend trip, going out of town, out of the country. Whatever it may be, embrace it and do it in love and do it in fun. And make sure that you do it. Melinda Frazier says, yeah, it's been a while. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. And for everybody else who's tuning in, welcome to the show. Hope you guys are doing well. It's a beautiful day today. I don't know where you guys were today. For people in different areas, I know some people are here where I'm at, so I know what the temperature was here down here. So wherever you are in New Jersey, New York, or wherever you were watching, put your temperature the highest of the day, what it was today. It's been cold for a while. I think even last week it was really cold in New York, Jersey area. I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, and it was like 1 degree the other day. I don't miss those days, but I remember it vividly, and I don't miss those days. And for those of you up there in the colder weather, my prayers are with you. But put in the chat, how warm or how cool it is where you were. Some of you comment. Joseph is watching. The temperature is probably 75 and warm in the land of 365 beaches. How are you doing this evening, Miss Joseph? Hope you're doing well on this beautiful Tuesday evening. Just before we start, let me take a quick look at what markets did for those of you who are always worrying about, your 401k, your stocks, your bonds, your mutual funds. Well, the Dow Jones is at 188.15. It's at an all-time high, hitting over 50,000 for the first time in history. The NASDAQ is down 136.20, so your tech stocks lost some money. And the, S&P is down 23.01. So some people may have lost some money, But you know what? My clients don't worry about that. They sleep like a baby. You know why? Because zero is the hero. You guys hear me talking about that all the time. And for those of you who have former jobs, old 401ks, or if you're 59 and a half and you're in the continental United States, let me help you protect that from loss, protect it from market loss, and make sure you can guarantee, a lifetime income if you want from that. And also, you can use it as collateral assignments. You're like, what's that? We'll talk about that another time. But for those of you who've been watching my show, totally understand. So wherever you are tonight, just tell me what the temperature is. Well, okay, she says, Melinda said it's cold in New York, 25, 30 degrees. Okay, today. We worked in the city. Okay, all right. Cool. It's 25 is better than 5. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of funny when you look at freezing as warm temperatures. I know people up in Canada have been getting a lot of snow as well. We got a lot down here. I know in Boston, I was talking to a friend in Boston today, and she told me that they will be getting snow again, I think tonight. And the funny thing, as you guys know, my New England Patriots did not win the Super Bowl. So I'm still down. I'm still hurt. I'm still crying, but we'll come back next year. We overachieved this year. Going to the Super Bowl was not a goal. I didn't even think we'd win any games. But guess what? We went all the way to the Super Bowl, and the better team won. All right. I'm man enough to say that. Seattle Seahawks, they whooped our butts, man. We didn't make any adjustments in the second half, and that's the results of not. I should not say that we were not prepared. We did not make adjustments. Sometimes you have to adjust when life hits you. You got to make adjustments, and we did not do that. So congrats to the Seattle Seahawks. As a matter of fact, I think the team's going to be sold, and they just won the Super Bowl, so that means the price, which is jacked up. So that lady who owns it, she's going to be real happy when she gets her money for that. And for those of you who are watching, did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you watch the halftime show? I know some of you are not really sports fans. You're not really football fans. But did you watch the halftime show? Put it in the chat. Say yes, say no. This is not political conjecture here, but did you watch the halftime show? One thing about Super Bowl is that a lot of people watch Super Bowls and they go to Super Bowl parties, even people who are not sports fans. As a matter of fact, when I was a child in the Caribbean, in the Commonwealth of Dominica, from 0 to 12, I didn't know what a Super Bowl was. Nobody knows what football, American football was. I'd never seen football. I never saw hockey, lacrosse, all of those different things. But now in Dominica, they have Super Bowl parties. The Super Bowl is global now, and people have parties and you watch it all around the world. So did you watch the Super Bowl? And if you didn't watch it, did you watch the halftime show? Because a lot of people who are not into sports, they watch the halftime show. They've had J-Lo over the years, Shakira. One of the best ones was Prince, Purple Rain, In the Rain in Miami. That was off the chain. Michael Jackson, that was a good one. Some of the people singing, like Whitney Houston, back in the day, she sang. You remember Janet Jackson with the, y'all remember that? Rihanna has done it, a lot of other artists have done it, and from a range, you have had people who do, pop, people who've done rock and roll, rap, last year was Kendrick Lamar. What did Melinda Fraser says? Let me turn this on my phone so I can see the comments better. I can't see all the comments. It's so far on my screen. So let's see what some of the comments are being said right here. Let's see. What's Melinda saying? Okay. Dominica watching. Okay. All right. Valda Mary Peltier Breedy Sakafet. Bonsoir. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. All right. Melinda Fraser said Bad Bunny was great. Love to see our flag being paraded. Exactly. And no, I'm going to address that in a second. Love to see the Dominican flag being paraded, all the Caribbean. Monique Gaskins, did you watch the Super Bowl, Monique? I know weren't you in Cali? I don't know if you were there for work. Did you watch the Super Bowl? And guys, give me your thoughts. And don't be bashful. I mean, you put it in the chat because regardless of if you were pro or con, I'm not gonna attack you. You have your right to have your opinion. I'm gonna tell you what my opinion is, obviously, as the host of this show and the blabbermouth that I am. But Monique says she put a clap in hand, so that means she enjoyed the halftime show. Let me see. So who else? Did you the rest of you who are watching, did you guys let me see if there's anybody on Instagram watching as well besides um well there might be anybody else watching on Instagram right now, but the point was I enjoyed it as well. Now I'm going to be honest, in high school I took French because I'm from the Caribbean island of Dominica, which had a French influence. My last name, as you can see, Bardoui, c'est français, it's a French name. I believe they say my great great grandfather was from France. I don't know. But what I do know is that I took French in high school in Boston because it was an easy pass. It was an easy A. You understand what I'm saying? So, but knowing what I know now and how America has become a melting pot, it always was in Boston where I grew up. There's a large Hispanic population. Actually, I went to high school and middle school with Hispanic kids. Um, and Spanish, you could hear Spanish all the time. My first little job when I was 14 was in a little bodega. You know what a bodega is? One of the little corner street stores, you know. And the guy gave me a job because he had liked my mother. He thought my mother was a very friendly lady, I remember that little job. I got fired from that for fighting. He said, "No fight, no fight." But right on Bowden Street in Dorchester, Massachusetts, the corner of Bowden Street and Olney Street, right there. And but Spanish, I've been influenced by it because growing up in Boston. As a matter of fact, when we got our back in the day in the 70s, when we left Dominica, we went to Barbados for a couple of weeks. Got our visas and green cards and stuff, and then we entered the U.S. in Puerto Rico, San Juan, Puerto Rico, on Eastern Airlines. That's a very, very old airline that doesn't even exist anymore. You gotta be old school to know what Eastern Airline was. And we came to Puerto Rico, and I'll tell you what, guys, going through there at the time, I had never been on a jet, so we took I think Eastern Airlines from Barbados, Bridgeport, to St. Michael's or wherever we were at. I can't remember. Bridgeport, yeah, wherever. And to San Juan, and from San Juan to Boston, Massachusetts. And that was right after the blizzard of 78, because last week was the anniversary of the blizzard of 78. I think the 47th anniversary or 48th anniversary of the blizzard of 78. And we came in March, and it was in February. But I remember going to San Juan, Puerto Rico. And again, I did not take Spanish in high school or middle school because French was easy for me, to pass. And but knowing what I know now, I wish I had taken Spanish. And it's not too late to learn it, but I didn't understand a word that was being said by Bad Bunny. But I know one thing. I was salsaing, I'm merengue, I was like da 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 da. I was dancing up a storm. Plus, I was dancing to cheer myself up because my Patriots was getting murdered, So it was really, really good. And just to make it clear, folks, Puerto Rico is is not a state; it's a territory, and they won't even give them statehood because Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens. I remember a few years ago, I was having a discussion with a guy, I think when they had Hurricane Maria or whatever it was, and this dude was talking about, I think the president was down there throwing paper towels at people and everything, and he's like, the president is down there giving those people. I'm like, those people are your fellow U.S. citizens, man. And some of them did not even know. Some of them did not even know that Puerto Ricans were U.S. citizens. I mean, how dumb can you be? Let me tell you something, right? Ignorance is bliss. I don't mind if I'm talking to you about, index universal life policies or variable index universal life policies or buy-sell agreements, key man insurance, talking about complicated, IBC concepts. I can understand you don't really know that, but how can you be from here and don't know about Guam and Puerto Rico? How can you not know about St. Croix, St. Thomas, the U.S. Virgin Islands? Those people are U.S. citizens. It's really sad. Stacy Thomas, how are you doing? Good to see you, young lady. Hope you're doing well. How can you not know that? It's really embarrassing, and it's really like I've always tell a lot of people, a lot of Americans. I've told them something. I said, I think I know more about America than you do. They said, well, you had to study. I had to study nothing to come here. I was a kid when I came here. My parents, was the ones who had to do whatever. I went to school and I read and I learn and I know stuff. Ignorance is bliss, but in this day and age, there's no reason for people to be so doggone ignorant about basic things that you should know. I saw a clip, of Megyn Kelly and Pierce Brosnan. They were talking about it, and and she was going off. Oh, there's only 41 million Hispanics in the U.S. There's 350 people in the U.S. who speak English. So Pierce Brosnan asked her a very good question. He said, "What's the official language of the United States of America?" She want to answer in English. She said, "No, it's not. America doesn't have an official language." So what has happened now, I believe in Florida, they've now, if you want to get a driver's license, you have to do it in English because they're getting rid of all the Spanish paraphernalia, which I think is foolish. But what I can say is simply this. Hey, Tay, how are you doing, girl? Are you doing good there, Mr. And Robin Martin? Robin, I thought you were going to church tonight. But what I can say is that I enjoyed the salsa, and man, I was like that. I was getting it in. I was like, you guys should have seen me. I should have videotaped myself doing it and put it on Facebook. Man, I don't know what they were saying, but I was enjoying it. And what I love, if you guys looked at, remember last year when Kendrick Lamar came on, a lot of people didn't understand it, right? And then you had to break it down for them because they think they're so smart, but they still didn't get it, right? Even this year, when you saw the beginning of the halftime show, it was actually, you saw all the sugar cane. You all saw that? That was history of Puerto Rico. Did you guys know that all the major sugar companies went to Puerto Rico and just basically took it over? That's stuff you can find out, you can read. Nowadays, you don't even need a doggone encyclopedia. You can Google that bad boy. Chat GPT, or you can go in your phone, Google it, and boom, 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 it's there. These people, I don't know. But anyways, all I can say is this. I enjoyed it, and I love the diversity. And to be honest, I'm very proud. I'm a Dominican. I was born in Dominica. I wasn't born here. And there was a Dominica flag. When they had all the flags, man, you see the Dominica flag, that was like, yeah, La Dominique. Yeah, man. You saw all the different islands and the South American and whether the Central American countries. America is a melting pot. And for some reason, there's a lot of people who have an issue with that. And what I do is like, what I do, I don't allow these things to affect me, but I do comment on some of it. Like I said, I don't lose sleep over it. I would be a fool to do that. I don't. But it's current events. It's really important. And do some research. I saw one of my buddies. I'll even call his name. I haven't seen him in a few years. But Brian England, he's on Facebook. He made a post where someone said, if you went to the opera, would you expect the opera singer, the Italian opera singer, to sing the opera in English? I remember when I was in high school in 10th grade, right? We went to see Othello at the Opera House in Boston. That's 1979. All right? I'm like 14 years old. Okay? Downtown Boston. That's in the late 70s. We go see Othello. I didn't have a clue what they were saying. We had to read the book, but it wasn't English. So one of the things that people have to understand, and I don't get mad. I have a lot of friends who are MAGAs in my business. There's a lot of people who don't look like me who are MAGAs, and I'm not gonna unfriend them or whatever, because some of them have unfriended me, and that's cool. I'm not gonna unfriend you, because what you're not gonna do is bamboozle me. I'm from the Caribbean, and one thing about Caribbean folk, we know our history and we read. We do. There's an old saying: if you want to keep stuff from black people, put it in a book. Well, they weren't talking about Caribbean folks or African folks. I don't know who they were talking about, but not us. And the thing about it is, it's really important for us to know where we stand. So so I, even though I didn't understand what was going on, I mean, in terms of the song, but I was watching, trying to put two and two together. But when I saw the sugarcane fields, I kind of got it a little bit. And then I did some more research. And actually, I posted on my story is a guy, I forgot the guy's name. But if you go on my story on Facebook, you will see a great commentary about the show last night. The guy broke it down elementary, like ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. So when you're done after watching this show, don't go now, stay there with me. But when you're done, go on my story and you can see it. And folks, celebrate diversity. I do. In America, there's people from all over the world. Was it Ronald Reagan, I think, who said, if you go to Irish, you'll never be an Irishman. If you go to Russia, you'll never be a Russian. If you go to France, you'll never be a Frenchman. If you go to Italy, you'll never be Italian. You go to Portugal, you'll never be a Portuguese. But if you come to America, you can become an American. That's a powerful statement. However, there's people out there who think America is only for them, and which is foolishness. So what I can tell you guys is simply this. If you enjoy the halftime show, even though you didn't know what was going on, put a thumbs up in the chat. Put a thumbs up or put some flames or something, because I think it was hot. I think they said Turning Point had a halftime show. It wasn't as popular as this one. Listen, man, the Super Bowl is a global thing. It's kind of like the World Cup. Now, it's not as big as the World Cup because everybody around the world understands soccer, but everybody around the world don't understand football. You got Americans here who don't even understand the rules of football. But in soccer, the original football, everybody, when the World Cup, and this year, the World Cup is coming to the U.S. I'm one of these people who think they should boycott it. But then these countries have been qualifying for 4 years to make it. And now boycotting it would, it's probably elementary. But I enjoyed it. Melinda enjoyed it. Alvin enjoyed it. That's good. Anybody else who enjoyed the halftime show, thumb it up, man. My Patriots got killed. And, I'm like, you know what? My Patriots got killed. So it would be nice if something else, was sweet, and the halftime show was sweet. And I've watched the Super Bowl over the years where they had some stupid rockers that I didn't even know who they were. And I watched it. I didn't complain. I didn't complain. It's like, even like you think about, there's a lot of things that didn't resonate with you when you were growing up, right? You were watching all these stupid shows, like Archie Bunker. I love that show. You look at the Jeffersons, and you look at Bewitched. You look at MASH. A lot of these different shows that you watch growing up, right? And when I was a kid, because I was from the Caribbean, being in Boston, I was always pro Caribbean. As you guys can see, I've been in this country. In 2 years, it'll be 50 years, and I don't really sound like an American. I mean, if I'm playing ball, I may sound like, yo, what's up, man? What you got? I might try to talk like one, but people always ask me, you have an accent. Where are you from? And I love that. And that's my opportunity to educate. So I've been here almost 50 years, and there's some people I know they've been here like 2 weeks and they try to yank, and that's okay. I don't get mad at them, but I'm very proud of my heritage. I may not be proud of everything that my country does, but I'm proud of my heritage, and I'm a Dominican, and I'll always be a Dominican, right? So therefore, it's really, really important, folks, that you understand. And this is something I want to say. I want to make it very clear. There are some people who are African Americans. In other words, I know African Americans is considered everyone black in this country, right? But I'm talking about the true African Americans, the ones who were born here, their mothers from there, their grandfather, their great grand, and they were slaves here in America. Those people, they sacrifice a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. They sacrifice. Okay. Those people sacrifice a lot, a lot, a lot for you and for me. All us immigrants who came here, whether you're from Africa, Central America, South America, Africa, I don't care. I don't care. Europe, wherever you came from, if you're a person of color, right? The African Americans, the Black Americans, like we have here about the Buffalo Soldiers, Black Americans, yeah, man, they sacrificed a lot. They died. I know there was some Caribbean folks, who made an impact, like Marcus Garvey, and some of Caribbean folks may have been a Black Panther. They were in the Civil Rights Movement, but it was predominantly African Americans, people from here. So you can't come here, folks, and try to marginalize the accomplishments of what they fought for, and then support foolishness. You just can't. Well, you have your right to do whatever you want to, but don't expect them to bail you out when foolishness happens, like especially what's going on in Minnesota. Okay. So what I can say here is that I'm very glad for my African American brothers and sisters. A big shout out to Sandy as well, who's won, and all the people that I grew up with in Boston and people down here. Shout out to them, not just them, but their parents, not just their parents, their grandparents, not just their grandparents, their great grandparents, and great great. A lot of blood was shed during slavery and a lot of stuff here. So in the Caribbean, yeah, when I came here, the bankers in the Caribbean were black, the doctors were black, the teachers were black, everything, and it was okay. However, we cannot discount, and I think it's really important that people from the diaspora recognize that. It's really, so I want to thank you all of the African Americans for your sacrifices. Now, with that being said, we talked about the stock market. We talked about it's at an all-time high. We talk about Bad Bunny. To be honest, I didn't know who Bad Bunny was, but one of the songs that played, I'm like, I heard that song before. We talked about that, the halftime show. One of the pastors in my conference, the Allegheny East Conference, said next year they should put Kirk Franklin. Those people would have a heart attack too, because they'll say he's not a Christian because he dances on stage, right? Didn't David dance? But anyways, man, listen, I laugh at this stuff, guys. What I don't want you to do, I don't want you to have these things to consume you. If you are a person of color, you should have been proud of the Super Bowl on the halftime show. And it was doing the salsa, the merengue, the bachata, whatever they call it. Man, I was having a blast yesterday. With all that being said, the show tonight is called Bad Bunny and Insurance, right? The key here is simply this. You see, Bad Bunny is a multi-millionaire, right? He just won 3 Grammys last week. The guy's doing well. He's 31 years old, same age as my daughter. He'll be 32 in March. All right. So I'm not feeling bad for him. I love that. You see, sometimes you got to make a statement without arguing or fighting. The guy made a statement he showed love. Like Dr. King says, love trumps hate. And all the people who are hating are haters. That's what haters do. It's even like think about people that you know. You may know family and friends or people that you know who are haters. Like they don't support nothing that you do, or they don't congratulate you, or they always have a comment. You'll see them congratulating people they don't know, celebrities and people they don't know, but they won't do that. But if you don't have any haters, you're not successful. Did you know that? Sister Ann Marshall, how are you? Good evening. Bonsoir, bonsoir. Sakafet. If you don't have any haters, you're not doing well. You're not. Sister Ann say good morning. You mean good evening, right? I know what you mean, darling. Folks, I love my haters. You know why? Because it makes me know that I'm doing something right. And if everybody loves you, something's wrong. Everybody don't even love God. Some people hate God. The devil does. So if God can't be hate, man, what makes you special? That people, let me tell you. Good evening, Sister Ann. Good to see you, man. Love alone, one love, one love. Let me tell you guys something. A lot of people are not prepared for who you are or what you've become or what you are. And stop expecting you in other people. Now, I want to make it very clear. Don't put up with nonsense now. You can't let someone just come and, verbalize you or beat you down and you don't stick up for yourself. I know the Bible says turn the other cheek, but, I'm a work in progress, Don't put your hands on me and we have no beef, right? But what I'm saying here, folks, is that sometimes what we do is we allow people to control us. We allow people and we look for us in people. If you have a good heart, if you're a good man or a good woman, you're a good person, you're loving, you're kind and true, you help your fellow man, you lend people money, you do all these different good things that you do, even when they don't pay you back, right? My point is, don't expect you in other people, because that's going to give you high blood pressure, stress, disappointments. It's going to make you angry. Be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. So always remember, when people are jealous or people are hating or people are backbiting or talking about you, you notice somebody who, I don't think anybody's jealous of a homeless person or a marginalized person. They might be taking advantage of them, which is wrong. But usually when you're doing well, when you're excelling, especially when you got your stuff in order, you got your bills paid, you may be debt free, you got good credit, you're a good person, you're helping. Somebody's going to start something. Somebody's going to say something. And that's where you have to differentiate yourself. So last night, 2 nights ago, I should say, on that halftime show, Bad Bunny didn't care, man. He came to do what he did, props to Rock Nation and Jay-Z, for producing it, and it was a festive time. I know the Hispanic, I read an article today, you guys don't believe it. In New York City, they said for 15 minutes straight, the water pressure or the usage of water went down in New York City for 15 minutes on Sunday night. That means everybody was glued to their TV. Everybody. Even the commander-in-chief who said he was watching it. A picture leaked with them having a Super Bowl party watching that. They didn't even watch Turning Point. So it kind of happens, guys. It kind of happens. And what we got to do is love trumps hate. So always show love. Sister Ann Marshall always says love alone all the time. And I used to be like, why she always say that? But because love alone, you know, I don't think she's gonna allow anybody to mistreat her or whatever. But what she's saying, show love, give love, and it'll come back to you to the right channels. And what happens here, folks, which is a great segue into why this is February. Valentine's Day. They say today is a day a lot of people break up, boyfriends and girlfriends, because next week I think is Valentine's Day. So people break up via texts and voicemails and phone calls, not in person, because Valentine's Day is coming. You know, you don't have to. Valentine's Day, they say, is the day of love, but love should be every day, you know. But it's a great segue into this. You know, the work I do helping middle American families, you know, protect their income, eliminate debt, and create legacies, financial legacies. You know, the reason why I do that, because you all think it's life insurance. It's not. It's love insurance. It's love insurance. You have children and you love them. You put something in place just in case something happens to you. If something happens to you, your children are going to be terrible and miserable. If I was a kid and my parents died, I'd go crazy. I was a grown man and my parents died, and I was in my 50s when my parents died. You know, I think when my mother died, I was in my late 40s, I think, right? My dad, I was in my 50s, you know. But my point I'm trying to make here is that, you know, I was grown, but I missed them. But what I'm saying to you, your little children, you got kids from 0 to 22, even 20. I say 22 because if they go to school from 18 to 22, that's 4 years, right? They depend on your income. They depend on your income. So even if your sister or their father or your mother or their grandfather or their aunt or cousin or somebody is going to raise the child, one thing I do know is that I would rather grieve knowing that all my bills will be taken care of than grieving and knowing that nothing is taken care of. A lot of parents have done well by their children. They've planned for them, they've put stuff in place for them, but a lot of parents have not done that. And life happens every day. Life happens every day. Now, all I can say is that bonsoir, Miss June Bardoui Ansem Sakafet. Bonsoir, bonsoir. I hear you all getting some snow in Boston tonight. Keep it up there. I had enough when I was up in Boston. What I can say is that what I do is love. It's love insurance. It's not life insurance. You can use it to create wealth. You can use it to eliminate debt. You can use it for critical illnesses, cancer, stroke, heart attacks, aneurysms, angioplasty, Lewy body dementia. You can use those. So some of you think that, you know what, this dude come up every week and he talks about the same thing. But you guess what? That's my mission. It's my commission. It's my MO. It's my desire. There's nothing else I want to do in life. Nothing. It doesn't mean I don't do anything, other things, but I am passionate about this. I love talking about this. I love educating about this. There are two clients, one in Massachusetts and one in Virginia, that I'm helping right now to show them how to eliminate their debt. You know, I'm in the process of working on that for them, and I'm so excited. I get great joy in that. Debt is a financial cancer that robs you from your savings. I was talking to one of my clients last week who lost their job in December, and we're talking about how they've planned over the years. You know, when you plan properly, you prevent poverty. And there's some of you who are older, you're over 59 and a half, you have 401ks, 403bs, 457s, TSPs, thrift savings plans, whatever you call them, all over the place. Man, protect it. Protect it. Some of you have businesses. You need a buy-sell agreement. You have a partner. You have a partner, but you don't have a buy-sell agreement. God forbid something happened to your partner. How are you going to sustain the business? Yeah, it's going to hurt. It's like I told you guys a little while ago. It would be nice, that God forbid if something happened to your parents, that a nice legacy is left so that the children will be able to continue their education. It's not going to bring mommy back or daddy back. And even if it's one parent that's lost, the other parents still have to work. But until they go back to work, they haven't got to worry about their bills. They can stay in their same neighborhood, pay off their home if they want to. Those are some of the things that people have to take into consideration when they're planning. So this month, it being the love month, show your love by protecting your loved ones, your children, your grandchildren. Do it. Why not? Okay, you have health challenges, you can't do anything. Do you have a cousin, a brother, a kid, a grandkid, or something, or you don't have any of that? Well, let's use annuities. Let's use annuities. This is a different form of insurance. It's tax deferred, it's not tax free like life insurance, but you can use that as well. Executive bonus plans. I won't even get into that, but if you have a business, for some of you who are doctors and attorneys, and you own like a group home, or you own a dental practice, a law firm, even all you smaller entrepreneurs, your hairdressers and barbers, you do massages, your nail techs, and all of those people. You guys don't have retirement plans. You don't. Why don't you get on my calendar and find out what you can do to affect you? The only person who can take care of your future self is your current self. And your future self is looking at, your current self is looking at your future self and saying, Johnny ain't doing jack. Susie ain't doing nothing. Some of you, I was talking to someone today who wants to retire soon, and I said to them, well, you need to start having something else to augment your retirement. Tax-free retirement. That's the kind of stuff that we do here, and that's what I take great pride in doing. So, Bad Bunny, if he protects his money properly, he'll be fine. So don't worry about him. If people are dissing him, don't worry about him. He's going to be fine. Worry about you, your kids, your grandkids, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. I have a business colleague who says, if she's single now, she says, if a guy wants to date her and he hasn't secured protecting his life, she doesn't even want to talk to him. I'm like, wow. But I can see her point. Because if you don't value protecting, you insuring your phone, your car, your home, your iPad, your motorcycle, your boat. Some of you even get an LLC because a limited liability company because to take the risk off of you, but then you won't protect your income. Listen, some of you have been watching me for a long time, have been listening to me for a long time, and I think this is the year. Actually, this month is the month you got to do something. Anything, man. Do something. Ignorance is bliss. You can't, listen, I'm going to my 7th year of Tuesdays with Terrence. February 4th was 6 years, so I'm into my 7th year. And I'm even contemplating of giving up the show and just concentrating on doing other things within what I'm doing now. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. But I'm like, I would feel guilty because I feel it's like the gospel. You got to preach it. Every now and then you make there's maybe be somebody who haven't heard it, somebody who not putting something in place for their family. I don't care where you are. You in St. Thomas, make sure you protect that. Get protection there. You in Antigua, get protection there. You in St. Martin, get protection there. You in Dominica, get protection there. You in New York, you in California, you in Texas, you in Massachusetts, you in Virginia. I don't care where you are. Florida, get protection there. This lady told me, excuse me, she said, I don't want anything to happen to you because I need you. She's way older than me. I said, I'm not going anywhere, but God forbid something happens to me, there'll be somebody else here to help you. But I like to hear conversations like that because those are people, they've put their trust, their full trust in me and the companies that I represent to protect them for a rainy day. It's going to rain one day. And when the rain comes, I don't want you to just have an umbrella. I want you to be covered. I want you to be covered from head to toe. I want you to have protection. The reason why I'm wearing red is because they say it's the love month. Well, I don't sell life insurance. I help you acquire what you need. It's not life insurance, it's love insurance. You can use it for business. You can use it as a savings account. You can use it as a bank. You can use it as to buy property. You can use it to as collateral assignments. If you use it to annuities, you can use it for college planning. You can use it for a plethora of things. And some people think I'm mad at them because they're not my client. I'm not mad. Some of you guys have done some good stuff. I'm not mad at anybody. I just get a little turk when when I see these GoFundMe's be coming through. I don't care if it's a church, at home, at play, or people I grew up with. No. Them GoFundMe's is not like I say in Creole, ça pas pour moi. No. Let's make sure, folks, that we put the right things in place. Let's make sure we do that. And we can do that. We can do that, guys. We can do it. So what's holding you back? Tell me. What's holding you back? Tell me what's holding you back. You want a one-on-one with me? Get on my calendar. Get in my DM. You know how you slip in people's DMs when you slip in my DM? If you look at, what's scrolling on the screen, it basically tells you that my phone number is right there. Reach out. You got kids, you got grandkids. Let me help you help them. Pass down positive legacies. That's what you need to do. Pass down positive legacies. Don't pass down debt. Don't pass down trauma. Don't pass down guilt. A legacy is not just financial, Showing people how to do stuff. Do you know what they've said? You can give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Empower your loved ones. Show them the value on what you did, so they can pass it down. Nothing is wrong with having fun, like I said at the beginning of the show. Everybody should have fun. When you have some successes, you get a raise at work or whatever, you know what? Do something nice for yourself, but don't go spending it all. Make sure you add to what you have. Change your mindset. Change your mindset. In 2026, we're doing things differently. Let's be wise. Let's be impactful. Let's be intentional. Are you intentional toward what you want to do? Sometimes I know things are hard. The economy is not, it's choppy, it goes here and there. Groceries and stuff are higher, your light bill's higher, you know. But guess what? You should be smarter because you've been watching Tuesdays with Terrence for 6 years, some of you, going to your seventh year. So what are you going to do different? This is what I want you to do as we close. I want you to come up with a budget. I want you to put some, whatever monies you want to protect, DM me and let me know. If it's monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. And let me show you how you can protect it. Guaranteed. Albert Einstein said compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Never interrupt compounding. A lot of you interrupt compounding by taking money out of your accounts. That's interrupting compounding. And when you build it back up, if you have 50 grand and you bring it down to 25, you bring it back up to 50. When you get to 50, you should be at 75. But some of you don't understand this concept. Let me teach it to you. So what I want you to do tonight is, if you like what you hear, reach out. If you don't like what you hear, you don't have to reach out, because the ball is in your court. My job is to educate, pontificate, teach, illustrate. That's what I do. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. And even from the 767 YT Kubuli, the Commonwealth of Dominica, tall is her body, and you're from the village of Point Michel, aka La Pointe, St. Luke's Parish, you call me little boy or little boy. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me.
Connected to virus alert scammer.
Thank you for tuning in tonight. Folks, I'm glad that you are having a good week. I'm glad the weather has got a little warmer. I'm glad that you watched the Super Bowl halftime show. Glad that you enjoyed Bad Bunny. But what I can tell you all is this. Financially, Bad Bunny's doing okay. He's good. I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about those of you who are not making changes. And for those of you who have old 401ks and old jobs, let me help you. Some of you, if you're 59 and a half and you have a 401k, hit me up as well. 43B, 457 TSP. Let me help you. I'll show you comprehensive ways to change what you're doing. So thanks for tuning in as I play my theme song. Dominica Made Me. That's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees. The heart of my plan, from the hills and the smiles to the songs of the seas. That island spirit molded the person I'd be. The roots of my rise. Good night, everybody. God bless you. I love you. Mwah. Bonsoir. Arrivederci. Boom.
Dominica made me. That's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea. That island spirit molded the person I'd be.
Ow!
Boston raised me with its hustle and grind.
City light shining.
City light shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City light shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray.
Good night, everybody. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. Until next Tuesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky.
Yes.
Every sunrise, I'm thankful I'm free. A licensed financial pro, just being me.
Yes, Melinda. When will I have a session on LTC funded with an annuity? I'll do it for you, girl.
So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong, with purpose and pride. Together with my journey, side by side.
I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. But Melinda, as we close, you said, when will you have a session on LTC funded with an annuity? Well, we can do that, but what I will tell you is this. I prefer living benefits. Let me explain. And that's all I'm going to say. We're out for the night. You may never need long-term care, but you could. With living benefits, what if you develop dementia? The older you get, the more expensive long-term care is. The best time to buy long-term care is in your 30s and 40s. 50s, 60s, 70s becomes very, very expensive. And if there's an increase, there's a class increase, but there's alternatives to that we can certainly discuss. So Melinda, what you got to do, you see my number scrolling down there? Take it down, my cell or my office, take my cell. I don't think I have your number. Reach out to me and I'll give you a complimentary session on what you ask me one-on-one on a Zoom. Fair enough? Just for you, from the licensed financial pro, because you're a Dominican just like me. Good night, everybody. God bless you. Hasta la vista, babies. Mwah! One love. Thank you for tuning in. Until next Tuesday, same channel, same time, same place. Have a great week. Have a great Valentine's Day. Spread love, like Sister Ann Marshall would say. Love alone. I'm out. Peace. Hasta la vista, babies. Mwah.